For people who want to know what is the Keith Andrew Network, the whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so prove them and still amount to something. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. It is episode 960. We're on the road to 1,000. This is episode 960. I'm here with the beautiful and talented Miss Kim. She will be joining us in a couple minutes. But if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Also, leave a comment if you're watching on Facebook, so me and my guests will interact with the comment and their viewers. This will also be played on Twitter and LinkedIn. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, you're going to hear from our guests.
Kim Rosen, and I am here today being interviewed by Keith Andrews. And I'm very excited to be here today because I think what he's doing is a great message to everyone. And I believe that whatever you want to do in your life, you should do it and set out for it. And look what he has done. And here we are together, new friends, and ready to do an interview.
So the first question I want to ask you is, you are an upcoming professional TV actor, and you've done some movies as well. But the one thing I want to talk to you about is some of the great TV shows that you've been a part of. But the first one I want to ask you is, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Kim Rosen. I'm originally from Chicago, born and raised. And I have 4 grown children, and they are living all over the States. And so I'm here in Georgia. And about 4 years ago, I decided I wanted to do something, as I was a stay-at-home mom for 33 years. And so being here in Atlanta, the Hollywood of the South, I thought it would be a great opportunity to do some background. And that's how I got started.
No, absolutely. And I do have some great ideas for you off the air. But I'm just looking at your IMDb. I'd never heard of this movie, but I'm up for anything. You were actually a neighbor in the In-Wars.
In what?
Oh, you were in the movie The InLaw Gang.
No. Do you have Kim Rosen 1 or Kim Rosen?
No, it's a picture of you. You said you were the neighbor in the In-War, and you were also in Step Up.
Yes.
You were also in The Staircase.
Staircase, yes.
The Staircase, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, just right one. I don't know if you can see it, but it has, let's see, let me see. It's InLaw Gang, and it says you were the neighbor.
InLaw Gang. Let's see. I'm not really sure, unless the InLaw Gang. I apologize. Yes, I had done that a few years ago. Yes, I was. Yes, that is correct. That actually has not come out yet. They have had a billboard in Times Square. It's going to be a big movie, but I'm not really sure if they're going to put it out in the theaters or streaming. Oh, actually, yes, I do. I apologize. It's going to be on HBO Max.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just going through your list real fast to see which ones jump out. Also, you were in the TV show Bigger.
Yes, I was in that several times as background, and I really enjoyed that one. It was a lot of fun.
Well, this one I really like. That you were in The Falcon.
Yes, that was right when I first started. It was literally a week before the entire industry shut down for COVID for the first time. And I was just a pedestrian in it. And it was an entire week of overnight shoots. And it was a lot of fun. Marvel treats you really well. So whether you're background or the main characters, I think.
Well, did he ever get the chance to interact with any of the stars?
I did. So we were standing on the sidewalk, of course, and the what is his name? The dark-haired one. I'm so sorry. Sebastian, Stan, who I really like. He had come walking by, and general background is not supposed to talk to talent at all.
Right.
So I was standing like going, because he was literally walking right past, and this guy says, "Hey, dude, is that arm heavy or, you know?" And he said, "Oh no, you want to feel it?" And I turned around and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I'm just looking this way and I'm touching his arm. He was a really, really, really nice guy. Yeah, he was very sweet.
No, he was perfect as the Winter Soldier.
Yes, yes, he was. Yes, he went from a bad guy to a guy that you really want to like. So
You know, isn't that how it's funny? It's the bad guys that you root for, and they eventually become like the anti-heroes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
No, do you have any other funny stories from the set?
Oh my gosh, I have so many funny stories. So, actually, I don't think I have any. I've been doing this for 4 years. I'd like to say that I have something funny to say about me, but I'll be honest, I don't think I've done anything that's comical. But yeah, you see a lot in background, and actually, I've been documenting things for the last 4 years because I actually think it would make an amazing TV series. Trying to start in the industry when you're older, and then you have all these young people around you, and some of the things they do, you're just like, wow. So yeah, it's I think it would be a great comedy. So
You know, you just gave me a perfect idea. Maybe we can partner up. You know, I mean, I'm not saying you want to flood every TV station with a reality show,
right.
but hypothetically speaking, and just throwing it out there, do you think I would be a good reality show dealing with a disability, trying to make it in the entertainment world? Do you think people would care about that? Do you think it's a possibility that they might be interested in an idea like that?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think that would be a great thing to do, because then you would be showing everyone and anyone with disabilities that no matter what, with perseverance and dedication and a love of something, and you want to do it, you go for it, and look what you can do. I think that would be a great reality show.
Oh, perfect. Well, we can definitely talk about that off the air. But the other one I saw that you were in The Resident.
Yes, I was only in that once. And again, that was right at the very beginning. And I was, I guess, an employee. No, I was actually, no, I'm sorry. On that one, I was a visitor, I think. So that was my first look into actually being on The Resident. How long a set could be and how many times you have to do something before you get that scene right. I think I had to walk up and down some stairs behind the main character, who is the president of the hospital. And I think I did it 15 times. And I thought that I was going to die because I had just had knee surgery. And well, when we first walked downstairs, actually, here's a funny story. We first walked downstairs, had these little boots on, and all of a sudden I hear, cut, and I hear this girl, she's real cute, she's got these little things in her ears, and she goes, "Who's got the boots on? Hurting my ears." I'm like, and I just stood there, and everybody's looking, all the stars are there and everything, and main talent, and she goes, "It's you." And I go, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She goes, "Is this your first time on set?" And I go, "Well, I think it might be maybe my third." She goes, "Okay." So she bent down and she put these little rubber soles on my shoes, and she then looked right at me and says, "No more shoes that make noises." And I said, So that was funny. And then we did about 15 times. I think around the 12th time, I was walking up down the stairs with a very young gentleman, and I literally had said, I grabbed onto him. We were supposed to pretend we had coffee, and I said, "Oh my God, I think I'm going to die." And he goes, "Yeah, you don't look like." I go, "I'm in so much pain." He goes, "Oh, should no, don't you say anything." And he goes, "Don't say anything." He said, "No." I looked around. I'm the oldest background here. I'm walking those stairs if I'm crawling. And he goes, "Are you sure?" So I made it the 15 times, and thank God they finally got it right, and then we were done. So, but also, unfortunately, when I went to watch it a few weeks later, I go, "No." All you saw, guess what you saw? My feet, my boots.
I mean, you could have had fun with her, and it's like, no more noisy boots. You're like, yeah, me feel.
Yeah.
My thing is, I like to mess with everyone, but they don't know. It's like, well, he has a disability. Is he being serious, or is he having fun? I don't know. I'm making it like a mystery game.
That's good.
But the other one I want to ask you is, I'm looking at your Facebook.
Mhm.
3 companies, especially these 2 companies, would jump out is you worked at Backstage.
I am on Backstage. I am, yes. That's how
So-
I get most of my auditions.
No, I have 2 questions about that. I'm also on Backstage, but I don't pay for it. But I do message people on Backstage, and I never get an answer. So I was like, do you have to pay for them to give you an answer?
I think you do. I think because you have to be what do they do? They not qualify you, but you have to be I guess you would have to be qualified. So like if you were to send out, do you want to do an interview or something, it probably wouldn't actually go through because you're not verified. That's the word. Mm-hmm.
So pretty much I've been wasting my time.
Maybe, yeah. But it's well worth the money.
That's true. And what about Central Casting? Because I heard of Backstage and Central Casting. So out of the 2, which one would you recommend the most?
Oh, Backstage. Central Casting is just one of many casting agencies here in Atlanta. That is completely free. And you join them, and they have a profile of you and everything. And then you either apply for the jobs you want, or they'll send you availability checks.
No, absolutely. Now, the hint or the theme of the show, and one thing I do want to point out, just because I have a guest on the show, they don't have to have a learning disability. The disability is looking at what I'm incapable of. And of course, I have interviewed people with disabilities who are in wrestling and acting. Just when I introduce myself and say, "Hey, I would like to have you as a guest on my show," they're like, "Absolutely." And as soon as I say, the theme of the show is disabilities. "Why you want me on the show? I don't have disabilities." It's like, that's not the point. The point is, by being on the show, you're supporting someone with disabilities and making that message a stronger message. And I do talk with my hands for it to have it. But it's kind of like, I don't pry into people's personal lives. Like, do you have a disability? Do you have a disability? No, if it comes up, it's like saying, "Hey, your talk show host is a disability." That's the solid message, saying, I can do what you do, but it's going to be scaled back. Now, if someone has a disability and they're on the show, that's a plus. But that doesn't have to be an automatic turnoff saying, well, you only interview people with disabilities. And you know what I mean? It's kind of like, I do have to say it because I don't want people to think he's an ordinary person. It's like, okay, he has a show, you have a show. What makes him different? What makes him special? So I guess I'm a wrestling fan, if you want to look at it like that. My gimmick is that I actually do have a disability. So that kind of strengthens my image, saying this is who I am and this is what I'm trying to do, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Yes.
No, the reason I bring that up without going on a little tangent, I do apologize, is have you worked with people with disabilities? And for
Mhm.
people with learning disabilities who want to follow in your footsteps, what are some of your words of wisdom and some advice?
Well, first of all, yes, I have. There is a young man who has special needs, and he is actually on a lot of sets. And I see him from time to time now. I don't do a lot of background anymore, but when I did, I would see him, and he always came with his mother. And so, and the whole community has gotten to work with him, and they just adore him. He's the nicest guy. I was in a TV docu-series or me series that'll be coming up with Zach Galifianakis, and it's called The Beanie Bubble, and it's going to be about the Beanie Baby craze. And I was on there for 2 weeks, and he was on there a lot, and he was just so darling because he would go around, say good morning, hello, and he knew everybody. So yes, so that's the first thing. Yes, I have worked with people with disabilities, but my words of wisdom would be exactly probably what I tell everybody for me as well. I always say, I was much older when I started in this industry. I don't care who you are, male, female, someone with disabilities. If you have a passion or a dream and you have a goal in life, all you need to do is work it like a job until you succeed. And that is what I have done. I mean, I never thought in a million years that I would do anything other than background, but a year into it, I decided, why not? Why not just try? So I started auditioning, and I have now gotten several speaking roles, and I have done bigger things outside of the background, which, by the way, I do love. But I just feel that it's never too late. And I think there's something out there for everyone, no matter who you are.
No, I agree with you 100%. The next one I want to ask you is what attracted you to start your career?
Well, and actually, I was having coffee one morning, and I was just looking, through Facebook. I think it was before I was on Instagram and everything. And so it was 4 years ago, actually, this past August. And I saw a post about Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. And I thought, oh my gosh, I would just die to do that because I'm a big horror fan. And so I thought about it, and I said, maybe 5 months later, why can't I do that? Because we, again, in the Hollywood of the South, Atlanta is supposed to be even bigger than Hollywood at this point with all of the shows and movies and everything that they're doing in all the studios. So I started typing away and looking to see where and what I could do. And I went down and I interviewed with one of the casting agencies. And 4 days later, I was on a Christmas movie. And I thought, okay, it's on. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to prove to everybody, even though I've always been a stay-at-home mom and I've never really worked, I could do this. And so, again, I didn't think I would do anything more than background, but I think I've proved to many that I can do it, and I'm going to do it even better because I'm going to keep on continuing to be. I think I always say my goal is to be like Helen Mirren. She's so fabulous. I mean, she is older than me, yes, but she's just a badass. She's fabulous, and I love her. And so I'm like, there's no age limit on it. So I'm gonna keep going for it.
No, absolutely. And one thing, it is uncensored, so freedom of speech, self-expressing. So you can express yourself however you like.
Okay.
So the next one I was going to ask you, you've done so much in your career and you're going to do more. What has been your greatest achievements?
Well, I have done, I have done some music videos, which has been great fun. I do enjoy those. And I would have to say thus far, my biggest achievement, there's actually two, and unfortunately they're not out yet, but I am playing Susan Maravich, Pistol Pete Maravich's widow. And I have a son and daughter, and it's a teen drama series. And it's going to be 2 seasons, and we're still filming it. And I think that is one of my biggest achievements, or will be once it airs. And then also this summer, I had auditioned for a movie, actually, full feature movie. I can't say the name right now, but that's okay. We did a POV, which is like a small trailer of all the important scenes. And I am playing the mother of one of the stars. And it's a true story about 2 best friends. And that's all I could say for now. However, it was picked up immediately. So we will go back next summer and we will film it.
Well, if you're interested and the director is interested, or any of the cast members are interested, I would love to do a group interview to promote the film.
Okay, that'd be great. Yes.
Now, here's a funny question, but also a serious one. What is your biggest failure, and how did you learn from it?
Well, I've never really thought that I've failed at anything. I just always think that it's a lesson learned. But I would say, actually, I had taken a 2-week boot camp during COVID, and it was an actor's boot camp, and it was with this fabulous actress from Hollywood, California, actually. I don't know if she lived in Hollywood, but and it was so eye-opening, and it taught us how to be in a business frame of mind for our job. And I learned a lot. And one of the things that resonated with me was that we all start and we're unknown, and we have to start somewhere. So she said 2 important things is to take roles that are independent or maybe student films, so you can work on your craft, and also take non-paying jobs, because eventually you'll be seen and then people start calling you. So that's what I did. That's how I started auditioning and everything. And so the only thing is, in independent films, they're usually lower budget because they're funding them themselves and everything. So I would say I'd had great experience on most of them. However, I had landed the lead role of a character, and I thought this movie was going to be phenomenal. And it was supposed to be on Amazon Prime. However, you really have to take a step back, and I do now. Immediately look at your surroundings and everything, and the director, the crew, and even the other actors. And for me, it was a very long 5 months, and I literally had to step down right before the last scene filmed, and I quit. And that is because when you're on set, it should be easy. If they're organized and they have the right tools, everything, it should be easy. Should also not have to film for months and months at a time. And so that was my biggest life lesson. I literally had to take off 4 weeks to mentally and emotionally heal. It wasn't good. It was a lot of abuse and things like that. And so, and that's another thing. You should never have to deal with anything like that. So, however, I, at the same time, had great hope, because that was my biggest role at that point. And I was very disappointed, but I knew that God would open. I know they always say when a door closes, a window opens. I always say when a door closes, double doors open. And that's when, within a week or 2, I was offered the role of Susan Maravich. So that has truly been a blessing. But I think that is my biggest failure, because I wasted so much time on that. But it was a lesson learned, and now I know how to go forward and, view everything and know immediately if it's a good or a bad decision. So,
All right. Well, let's play that game. I like putting in the people on the hot spot. When I
okay,
first approached, I want you to be brutally honest. You
okay.
say anything you want. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, did any red flags come up? Did you think it was a scam? What made you say yes? And for people out there for saying they don't know who this guy is, but he has a good message, what would you say to them?
Well, when I first gotten the text message, I was like, what? Wait, why would he want me? I knew who you were because, we are friends, I guess, on Instagram, I think it was. And so I said, why would he want me? He does interviews with special needs. That's what I thought. So I questioned you. I had, texted you back and said that, and you said, "Oh no, that there's more to that." So I thought, okay, fair enough. So I went to your YouTube channel because I do research everything now, and I thought, oh, absolutely, he seems fabulous, and he knows what he's doing, and this is great opportunity for me as well. So that's when I got back to you and said yes, and there has been no red flags whatsoever.
No, I appreciate that. Now, with the last 4 minutes, I'm going to pass it over to you. What's coming up on the horizon? Passing it over to you.
So I have, I just got done filming a reality show. I can't say. That'll come out in January. And then, of course, the Lakeland TV series, which will come out on Amazon Prime, I believe, around Thanksgiving. And then next summer, I'm looking forward to filming the big feature film that I have been blessed to be in. And other than that, I think that I just have a few auditions laying ahead of me to do, and hopefully it'll take me somewhere. And if not, there'll be other auditions. I never get disappointed. That's another thing. A lot of people get upset, and then, oh my gosh, and and I'm like, why? It's not a failure. It's just because in the industry, this particular industry, everybody's looking for a certain look, a certain age, a certain type. And if we all fit in the same category, then, it just wouldn't work. So when I don't get the job, I just put it off to, I wasn't their type, or I don't look at it as I did a bad job or anything. I just feel that it wasn't the right fit for them or for me. So that's why I always like, okay, great, on to the next audition. It's not a problem for me. So I think I always have a very upbeat attitude about it. And so that's why I'm able to just keep on going. So.
No, absolutely. And I always told my brother that I always wanted to be an actor, work on stage. And he always says to me, you have no idea what you're walking into. They may use you, they may not use you. You're going to be on set for 16 to 20 hours. And you can vouch for that, because there's sometimes you're just standing around, and if you have ADD, you'd be climbing the ceiling or something. But
Right.
hey, if it's your passion, you should never give up for it. But
That's right.
with that being said, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road. And for our viewers, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until we meet again, thank you, and have a good night.